So here's our next cookie, the double heart. What we want to do with this is decide which heart is going to be in the foreground and which heart is going to be in the background. So which one will be behind and which one will be in front. So the way that this cookie looks like to me is that this one should be in the back and kind of stop here, where this one is going to be in the front along this line here. So almost like this heart is behind this heart, hugging it. So sweet. So, and we'll do 2 different colors for each one, and then we can do different designs on each one so that they're distinguished one from the other. So you can choose any 2 colors you want, or you can leave it the same color if you really want to. But I'm going to do a pink for the back, the one in the back, this darker pink, and then I'll use the lighter pink up front. So I'm going to try to see where I think this should be kind of marked out. There are edible food markers too that you could mark out a line if you wanted to, so that you could follow a line a little bit easier. Or you could just eyeball it and fix it if you needed to. So I think that a part of this heart starts kind of right here. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit of an anchor point and go around like this. That wasn't very nice and straight. I'm just going to kind of fix it up here. It's because I stayed too close to the cookie. Don't get very nice lines when you do that. So I will fix that and just kind of push that back a little bit and correct it. And that should kind of open up the outline for this cookie a little bit more. I'm sure you can all see that heart better than I can, so you're probably past this, so I apologize for the delay. But basically this shows me this is the heart here for the one in the front, and then the one in the back is going to be here. So I'll go ahead and keep outlining. Okay, and then once I'm happy with my outline, then I can go ahead and do the fill in. now that it's flooded, just gotta go back and kind of make it clean and neat. This area right here, we kind of need to help get crisp and make sure that our lines aren't showing as much as possible. That outline is pretty prominent, and we just kind of want to hide that a little bit. Okay, so this cookie, we need to decide what we want it to look like before we move on to the next heart part of the cookie. So you decide what you want in this heart. What design do you want it to have? You can choose to put a design on it afterwards, after it's dried a little bit, like on the top, like some, on the dry cookie, you can put some piping lines, which would look nice. But you can also do some wet on wet technique here as well, which can be fun. So I think I'm going to see what it looks like to have kind of a heart outline here. So I'm going to just pipe some dots, fairly large, and I'm just going to outline sort of around the edge here. You can choose to do something different, but this just seems kind of fun for me. Once you do that, you want to pretty quickly tap the cookie so that these dots will fall in to the icing underneath, so it doesn't stay too far up top of the icing. And once you have it tapped down, then you can drag your skewer through and we can get hearts. So I think I'll start here and take it to get a heart all the way around there. You may have to wipe off the skewer in between hearts if it gets muddy, kind of like these did, or you can just clean up a little bit too once you're finished there. Depends on what you want it to look like. If you want to, you can go one by one, or you can kind of be quick and do several at a time. So there's our hearts around the border, just kind of fun. Then on here, I'm going to do the lighter pink color, I think, right here. And for the design on it, I'll do something in there too. Okay. So we're going to first outline. So create an anchor, lift up, let it drop. Anchor, oops, that outline was kind of funky, so I'm just gonna go back over it and then do another anchor and outline again. looks a little bit bad, but we're just gonna fill it right in. It's getting late. Okay, so filling in, I'm just squeezing the bag, and I'm keeping the tip close to the cookie. And this is a fairly large area with this big of a heart, so I do want to go fast-ish so that I can finish it before it dries. Close up all these holes with wiggles, and you can even add more frosting if it's kind of looking depressed in that area. You don't want it to have like a little depression. You want it to stand out and stay puffed up. So add more if you need to, if you see that you didn't give it enough so it doesn't stay down. Okay, I'm going to shake the cookie. Again, I'm going to remember that my other part of the cookie is drying, so I don't want to be way too vigorous. I just want to get it tamped down. And then I'm going to get my skewer, pop any bubbles that I see, push any icing down that's staying up and not laying down nicely. My edges over here look a little bit jagged, so I'm going to clean them up as well. So I'm just gonna scrape a little bit off there and then kind of clean it up. Once you've got everything in place, you can decide what kind of design you want on this one. There's lots of options. You could do more hearts, you could do polka dots again. I think what I'm going to do are lines and kind of do sort of a chevron kind of look. This is another wet on wet technique where you take just contrasting colors and you build in some lines. So just like anchoring it before looked like this. It actually even looks nice with just lines too. You don't need to do the drag that I'm going to try to do on it to make that chevron look. You could just keep it with lines, which are fun too. If your line breaks, just go back and fix it. Okay, so I could leave it like that. That's kind of fun. I could also do some more with it, which I think I will, because I don't think it's quite done yet. But you get to be the judge and decide what you want to do with it. So I'm going to grab another contrasting color and just put it right under the white. My line broke, so I'm just going to go back and fix it. So anchor, squeeze and lift. This red just wants to break on me. Sometimes it happens because your bag tip is a little bit dirty. So I'm gonna give it a wipe and make sure I didn't get any dried icing clogging it up. And sometimes it's because you're going too fast, which I really am trying to work pretty fast right now. Because if I work fast, I can drag a needle through it and it'll give a chevron look. So that's what I'm gonna try to do and see how it looks. It's pretty dry in here and it's drying really fast. So it may not look the exact way I want it to. But I'm gonna try. I'm going to give it a little tap to get the icing in to the same layer there. And then I'm gonna take a wet skewer and then I'm gonna drag through and then I'm gonna wipe it off. I'm gonna drag the opposite side through and then wipe it off. Drag it the opposite way and wipe it off. Drag the opposite way here and wipe it off. Again, opposite way. And then I need to give it a little bit of a tap. To let the icing settle. And I can fix with my skewer as well. Anything that's a little bit too stiffened and looks jagged so that we can smooth it out. Okay. All right. Okay. There's that one for now. Okay, so now it's time to kind of add more details. We're gonna let this one dry and we can add some more details to that in a little bit. So we're going